Okay, it's week 7. The corn on the end here is getting quite large. Some of it's about 3 feet tall. Everything's growing really well, especially now that the earwig problem is under control. Some of the cabbages took a lot of damage, but we're hoping that they will come back. We've had a chance to pile this potato row up properly now. So that's about 2 feet or more deep from where the original trench was. I think the zucchini area is a write-off. It doesn't seem to want to grow. More corn is growing very well. Baby Pam pumpkin is finally starting to take off now that it's not being eaten. Put a zucchini here, another one. Hopefully that one will grow. Seems to be doing okay. This pumpkin is coming back. Jack-o'-lantern is getting some nice large leaves on them. So I think that one's going to grow. That's our green zebra. This butternut squash is growing well. Peppers along here aren't doing very well. They took quite a lot of damage, but they'll come back, so they'll be fine. The lettuce row in here is growing really well. I'll start to thin it out soon. In behind it I put a few marigolds, a couple more eggplant. San Marzano is growing really well. They've got some tomatoes on them already, some of them. So that's excellent. The new carrot bed is coming up. I'm glad we redid this. It's growing very well. The onions at the end of the row are growing very well. I put some basil in this other bed and a row of lettuce, so we'll see how they grow. Hopefully they'll come in soon. These onions aren't doing too badly. Sage. And these are my gold medal tomatoes. This is the one that was taking quite a bit of damage, but it's all new leaves on top, so that one will be fine. These ones are quite a bit bigger because they didn't take any damage, but they'll all turn out fine, I think. These cucumbers are still struggling. You can see they took quite a bit of damage, but this one has some new leaves there that are struggling to come out. The yellow plum tomatoes, which are growing well, and you may not be able to see it, but there's already tomatoes in there as well. I planted more basil. Everywhere I could try and plant it, if we can keep things from eating it, it may grow. So everything here is doing well. The horseradish is struggling to come back. A lot of those leaves are bare, but there are new ones coming in. And in spite of this field being plowed over and over again, the rhubarb still comes back. So never put rhubarb anywhere you don't want it to come back forever and ever. The VR Moscow are growing possibly the best over here, doing very well. More herbs. Our peppers. Hot peppers on this side in the containers. The spaghetti squash is growing very well. Some flowers are starting to take shape in there, which is good. It's growing really well. I started thinning this lettuce. And the radishes, once we stop the earwigs, actually grew really well. And they're starting to get quite large. I've eaten quite a few of these already. Some oregano. These eggplants are growing quite nicely now, which is excellent. They're all starting to really take off as well. Everything's really growing well for the most part now that it's not being eaten. More rosemary. You can never have too many herbs, and as you may notice, I planted onions all throughout the garden and different areas of the garden. These cucumbers are still rather small, but again, now that they're not being eaten, they're actually starting to grow without being pestered. The Brussels sprouts, some of them may be beyond repair, unfortunately. Very, very badly beat up. But we're optimistic. Cherokee purple tomatoes are growing very well. The cilantro, and a little tiny Tim tomato. Cilantro over here is bolting a little bit. Looks nice though. And the turnip, I think we'll pull and eat. They took the worst of the damage, obviously. Although they are still trying to put leaves out, so we may leave them a bit longer. We'll pull them and eat them, and I'll put peas in this section later on for fall. We also put quite a few onions all around the edge here. And you may notice that we did quite a bit of grooming in the garden. Got all the weeds out, redid the rows, so everything's looking much, much better this week. Week 7.